Understanding how to best utilize your lighting means understanding your story and modifying your setup to punctuate the kind of story you're trying to convey. We've got Justin from Story and Heart here to share 4 important tips on how to modify light and achieve the right light for your story's message.
Hey, I'm Justin. I don't know about you, but I always get super psyched when summer rolls around. Not only for the abundance of daylight, for bird watching, but also for the great weather to film outdoors. Now, great sunny weather isn't always possible or story relevant, so understanding how to shape any light is a skill set that will continue to benefit you on your storytelling journey. Here are 4 light modifiers that I recommend you befriend to help you control any light that you find yourself working with. The first modifier is likely one that you're very familiar with, a reflector. Whether you're filming in natural light or trying to keep the number of lights in your film set to a minimum, a reflector is a great way to add light to your scene by bouncing light that's already present. Here, we're using a silver reflector as a hair light, giving Zippy a little bit of separation from the background. Keep in mind that bouncing light will alter the quality of it. Because you're bringing it closer to your subject and increasing its apparent size, your reflected light will naturally be softer. So, if you prefer to maintain a harsher or a sharper light, bounce from further away or opt for a silver reflector or shiny board. And just like the light bouncing all around us every day, the surface you bounce your light off of can change its color. Whether it's a white, gold, or silver reflector, be sure to select the material that will reflect the light that best represents your story.
Got it. Now that I know how to add more light to my scene, how can I reduce it if I already have enough?
The next way to modify light is to remove light, and for that, I recommend you become best buds with a net. Whether you're trying to cut down on intense afternoon sun or simply trying to block a certain amount of light from streaming through a window, nets are an easy way to limit the amount of light hitting a particular area in your scene. They usually come in single or double nets, which means they will either cut the light by half or 1 stop. Because we've cut our light by 1 stop, we've boosted our overall exposure, and therefore we have a more balanced scene between our background and our subject. One big thing to note is that nets won't soften your light. They'll just cut down the amount hitting your scene.
Couldn't harsh lighting be what we're trying to accomplish, just less of it?
Sure, and in that case, nets are great. However, if you want to cut and soften your light, our third way to modify it will do just that. It's called a silk, or sometimes referred to as a diffusion panel. By placing a silk between your subject and your light, you're bringing the light source closer to your subject and increasing its apparent size, thus producing softer light. In the process, you'll also be cutting down on the intensity of the light depending on the amount of diffusion that you're using. Here, we're walking our silk away from our light and towards Zippy, thereby making it softer. On the left-hand side, it's our unmodified light. On the right-hand side, it's our silk from 5 feet away.
We covered modifying light by bouncing, cutting, and diffusing, which brings us to our 4th and final modifier, which is
flags. They're available in all shapes and all sizes, but ultimately contribute the same effect. They add drama, depth, and contrast by removing light. For that reason, flags are often referred to as negative film. In this shot, we're panning our flag towards Zippy, thereby blocking any of the reflected light in our shot. We'll notice just how much more contrast and shape the left side of his face has. Now, flags are not only great for controlling light on your set or on a sunny day, they're also great for adding shape to your subject or scene on even the cloudiest of days by removing reflected light. In this scene, all we're using is a single flag, but you'll notice just how much more drama we have because of it. So there you have it, friends. 4 ways to modify light: bounce, cut, diffuse, and block. Now, whether you bring it in closer, tone it down, or remove it completely, remember to modify light with your story's best interest in mind. And here's one last bonus tip. Try and find a system of light modifiers that work for you, one that you will take on every production. I'm a fan of the Westcott 6-in-1 reflector and 6x6 Scrim Gym kit because I like their small size and portability. But find a modifier system that works for you, even if that means renting and trying out a bunch of different ones before you invest in one.
Do you have a favorite light modifier or a question about one we just discussed? Be sure to share your thoughts and questions in the discussion area below.
Did you just learn something new to up your filmmaking game? Well, learn even more with our other tutorials. And remember to subscribe to know when new videos are released. Got questions? Ask away in the comments section. Or just say hi. Hi. How you doing? I'm good, if you're asking.